is that when a person learns about this, even if they don't touch women, even if she doesn't touch men, and so on and so forth, they realize there's still a criminal in this offense. Why? Because they do it alone. They do it by themselves. And that's actually more common than promiscuity with the opposite sex. It's more common for men to be by themselves and waste seed than for them to find a new wife every week. And unfortunately, some guys are so addicted to it that it becomes almost impossible for them to stop. I know one guy that is literally almost killing himself. Physically. I'm not talking about spiritually. Spiritually, is I know one particular guy is almost killing himself physically. You see him, he looks like a sick person. He looks like he has AIDS. He doesn't, though. But he's killed himself because this particular sin has both physical and spiritual issues, spiritual consequences. And a lot of guys are addicted to it, and that causes them a lot of problems in life. The Torah that they learn, many times they don't understand it, or they don't remember it, or they just can't even simply apply it. Sometimes they have a lot of weird thoughts in their mind, horrible dreams, night terrors, and a lot of different consequences. 9 out of 10 times when people have bad stuff happening in their life, if they're losing money, if they have shlom bayit problems, if they have a physical problems, 9 out of 10 times in this generation, it's because of this specific sin. And reason why is because this is, the Zohar Kadosh says, this is the one sin that is going to be the Tikkun of the generation. Meaning this is the one thing that the generation will have to overcome before Mashiach comes. If Mashiach came right now, we'll be worse than what we were in Mitzrayim. Because even the religious among us that keep Shabbat, keep Talat Mishpacha, keep kosher, pray, even learn Torah every day, unfortunately many of them are even victims to this issue. Because until now, many of them didn't even know it's a crime. A lot of them didn't know. They know it's bad. They just didn't know how bad it is. People know that murder is bad, but they didn't know necessarily they'll get a death penalty for it. So when you learn about this specific sin, you'll understand why the Shulchan Aruch, the main body of laws for the Torah, says that wasting seed is the number one sin in the Torah. It's the worst sin in the Torah. Worst possible thing. Because of all the consequence that it has, not just punishment, but also what it has in this world. If a person does complete Teshuvah for wasting seed, no, they can get to a very high level of Kedusha, they can become a serious Talmid Chacham, they can solve a lot of issues that they have in life, and potentially even get a major salvation. I can tell you a few things. I know a few people that listen to me on this issue. One guy was looking for a shidduch for years. Looking for a shidduch for years. I think it was maybe 8 years, 9 years. Good looking, handsome guy. Couldn't find. Every girl, something happened. They like him, then they don't like him. They like him, they don't like him. The wedding's on, the wedding's off. Hashem Yirachem. 8 years he's going, trying. One day, happens to be that he comes to my shiur, we find out, I talk about wasting seed, and he's like, "You're talking about me?" I said, "I know what's happening in your house. How do I know? I'm just telling you what the Torah says." He goes, No. I'm saying, you're talking about me. I'm the guy. I do it. I said, okay, stop. He said, yeah, but it's hard. I know it's hard. Rambam says it's the hardest thing to overcome. It's the most difficult thing in the entire Torah to overcome if you have an addiction to it. But it's possible. And if you overcome it, the reward is endless. Baruch Hashem, he listened. He stopped. Within 4 months, he got married. 4 months, he got married. Another guy, couldn't have a kid. Married guys are also addicted to this stuff. Don't think just because you're married, you're okay. I have guys that are married that are addicted to it also. One guy was married, couldn't have a kid. A few years they spent a lot of money, doctors, all types of pills, all types of hormones. Hashem Yirachem. Baruch Hashem came to me. They had an issue. I told them, this is the issue, don't tell your wife, but you have a very serious problem, so on and so forth. Baruch Hashem, within a year, they had a kid. The point being, Rabotai, is that it's not a joke. I'm not a prophet, I'm not the son of a prophet, but I know what Torah says here. In this specific issue, if you overcome it, the reward you're going to get is something so out of the ordinary, so extraordinary, that the only regret you're going to have, you didn't do it sooner. But it takes time, it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lifetime commitment. Don't ever think, okay, I'm not going to do it every day like I used to, but I'll do it a couple times a month. Nah, come on, no, to relieve the stress. Once a month, Hashem's okay. I used to do it every day. Once a month's okay. No, my friend. There's no such thing as once a month. Dvash matzata echol dayeka. Pentis be'ena ve'ekiato. Shlomo HaMelech says, if you found honey, don't eat too much, or else you'll end up throwing up. Chachamim say, what, we need diet lessons from Shlomo HaMelech? He says, no. Shlomo HaMelech is teaching us about the issues of Kedusha. He says, even if you found a beautiful wife, don't be too often with her. There's a certain time of the month to be together, and even then, you have to make sure that there's a time and place for everything. Don't be like the animals that do things in the streets. Show everybody their business. The time and a place for everything, even if she's your wife. Why? If you don't watch even something that's allowed, eventually it will become disgusting to you. Even that beautiful wife of yours will become disgusting to you. And that's what Rabbi Yochanan says in the Gemara. He says that there's a small member in a person's body, small body part in a person's body, that if you feed it, it'll never be satiated. It'll always be hungry. If you don't feed it, if you starve it, it'll always be full. So Chamim says, what is it talking about? He's talking about the male member. He's talking about promiscuity. He's talking about wasting seed. If a person wastes seed, even if it's once a month, it's only a matter of time before it's twice. It's only a matter of time before it's 5 times. It's only a matter of time before it's every day. But if he starves it, and it's 0, guess what? After a while, he has 0 desire to do it unless it's allowed. Meaning, he's with his wife. With his wife, he's still normal, he's still excited, everything is good. But he does it every day, he's a very serious problem. Because there'll never be enough.